The night was silent. Too silent. The kind of silence that presses against your chest until you can't breathe. I was walking home, my heels clicking against the pavement, when I felt it. The shadow. The presence. Someone was behind me. I turned, nothing, just the empty streetlights flickering. My heart pounded faster, my pace quickened. And then, a hand. Cold, rough, strong. It clamped over my mouth before I could scream. The world spun. Darkness swallowed me. When I woke, the smell hit me first. Gasoline, leather, cigarettes. I was in the back of a van, hands tied, blindfold pressing into my skin. Panic rushed through me like fire. I struggled, kicked, cried, but a voice cut through the chaos. Low, calm, dangerous. Stop fighting, Sophia. You'll only hurt yourself. My blood froze. How did he know my name? I thrashed harder, but the ropes only tightened. I said, stop. The voice carried authority, not a shout, not a plea, a command. And, somehow, my body obeyed. The van stopped, the door slammed open, strong arms lifted me. I felt his chest, solid, steady, before I was thrown onto a cold mattress. The blindfold was ripped off, and that's when I saw him. Adrian. Tall, broad shoulders, eyes like midnight storms. A face too beautiful for a criminal, but the scar across his jaw told me otherwise. He wasn't just any kidnapper. He was danger wrapped in flesh and bone. Why are you doing this? I stammered. His lips curved into something between a smirk and a warning. Because I have to. Those 4 words sealed my fate. The first days were hell. A locked room, a single window barred shut. Food slid across the floor like I was some caged animal. He rarely spoke. When he did, it was clipped. Cold. Eat. Sleep. Don't try anything stupid. I hated him. I told myself I hated him. But hate has a thin line, and somewhere in the silence, I started to notice things. He never touched me more than necessary. Never hurt me, even when I screamed in his face. And sometimes, when he thought I was asleep, I saw it. That flicker in his eyes. Guilt. But why? One night, I pressed my ear to the door. Voices outside. Boss wants her gone. She's a liability. Adrian's voice, sharp as a knife. No, not her. She's under my protection. My heart stopped. Under his protection? The man laughed. Careful, Adrian. Don't let the girl get under your skin. A pause. Then his voice again. Too late. The floor vanished beneath me. My chest ached. What did that mean? What did he mean? The next morning he entered the room. No smirk this time, no mask. Just storm in his eyes. You heard, didn't you? I swallowed hard. I don't understand. Why me? Why are you keeping me alive? His jaw clenched. He leaned closer, his breath warm against my face. Because the people I work for want you dead. And I can't let that happen. Every nerve in my body screamed danger, but my heart, it whispered something else. He was my captor, but he was also my shield. And that terrified me more than the ropes ever did. Days bled into nights, the line between hate and something else blurred. He'd bring me food and linger longer than before. He'd ask questions, small ones. Do you always bite your lip when you're nervous? Why do you look out the window like the world owes you something? It wasn't much, but it was enough to make me forget for fleeting seconds that I was his prisoner. And one night when thunder shook the sky and fear gripped me, I whispered, "Don't leave me alone." For the first time, he didn't. He sat beside the bed, silent, watching. And in the glow of lightning, I saw it. Not danger, not cruelty, but loneliness. I should have hated him, but my heart betrayed me, because every time his eyes softened, every time his hand brushed mine by accident, I felt it. The beginning of something forbidden. The beginning of something deadly. I was falling for the man who had stolen me. But what I didn't know was that he was falling too. And falling, in our world, was the most dangerous thing of all. But the storm wasn't just inside us. It was outside too, because the mafia boss wasn't patient. One night, I heard the argument getting louder, fiercer. "She dies tomorrow. No more delays." And Adrian's response was pure fire. Over my dead body. The room spun, my lungs seized. He wasn't just protecting me, he was defying them. And in the silence that followed, I knew one truth. This wasn't just a kidnapping anymore. It was a war. And I was the reason for it. The moment I whispered, "Why do I feel safe with you?" everything between us shifted. The world outside remained hostile, filled with shadows of the mafia boss who wanted me silenced. But here, inside these four broken walls, my heart was rebelling against logic. I knew it was insane, falling for the man who had tied my hands, blindfolded me, and stolen my freedom. But every look in his stormy eyes, every tremor in his voice, told me he wasn't the monster he pretended to be. That night, when the rain battered the safe house roof, I cornered him. "Tell me your name," I demanded softly, standing so close that I could feel the heat of his breath. He hesitated, fists clenching at his sides, torn between duty and desire. Finally, in a voice raw and trembling, he said, "Arav." Arav. My kidnapper now had a name, no longer a faceless shadow, but a man. And with his name, the walls I had built around my heart began to crumble. Days blurred into nights. Arav tried to keep his distance, but the universe conspired against him. Our hands brushed when he untied my ropes to let me eat. His gaze lingered too long when he thought I wasn't looking. And when nightmares woke me screaming, he was always there, holding me until I stopped shaking. One morning, the truth spilled out. Arav told me everything. The mafia boss wasn't just his employer, he was his enemy. Arav had once been forced into the mafia's grip, trained as a weapon. But when he saw my name on the target list, something inside him broke. He couldn't deliver me to my death. "You were supposed to be leverage," he confessed. "But instead, you became my reason to fight back." Tears stung my eyes. He had risked everything. His life, his freedom, just to keep me alive. But fate is cruel. One night, the cabin door exploded open with the thunder of boots. The mafia boss himself, ruthless and cold, stood there with his men. His gaze slid to me like a blade, then to Arav. "So this is why you betrayed me," he sneered. "For a girl?" Gunfire erupted. Arav shoved me behind him, shielding me with his body as bullets tore through the walls. I screamed, clutching his shirt, begging him not to leave me. We escaped into the night, but not unscathed. Blood dripped from Arav's arm where a bullet grazed him. I tried to stop the bleeding, sobbing, but he only grabbed my face and whispered, "Stay alive for me. That's all I need." In the days that followed, every stolen moment was more precious than gold. Arav's strength faltered, but his resolve only grew fiercer. He had risked. "I don't deserve you," he murmured one night, pressing his forehead against mine. I laughed through my tears. "You kidnapped me," I whispered with a shaky smile, "but you also kidnapped my heart." We laughed together, despite the danger, because even in the darkest times, love made us fearless. But the mafia wasn't done. They cornered us in the abandoned warehouse near the city. The boss's men surrounded us, guns aimed, no escape in sight. The boss smirked, his voice dripping with cruelty. "You think you can save her, Arav? You're nothing but my dog." Arav pulled me close, shielding me again. "Not anymore," he growled. Then chaos erupted. Gunfire, screams, shadows moving faster than lightning. Arav fought like a man possessed, every punch, every shot fueled by love. I watched in terror and awe, praying with every breath. When the dust settled, the mafia boss lay defeated. Arav, bleeding and bruised, stumbled toward me. "You're safe now," he whispered, before collapsing into my arms. I cradled him, tears streaming down my face. "Don't you dare leave me now, Arav." His lips curved into the faintest smile. "I kidnapped you once, but now will you let me keep you forever?" My heart broke and healed all at once. I nodded, whispering, "Yes, always." The sirens wailed in the distance, but for the first time, I wasn't afraid, because I had fallen in love with my kidnapper, and he had saved me not just from the mafia, but from a life without love. And sometimes the most dangerous beginnings lead to the most beautiful forever.